Hello friends and welcome to BISP My name is Amit and today we are going to do one of the interesting example for Oracle planning. I'm going to teach you how to initialize your service revenue and I'm going to create a block on the fly. So here is a requirement. I already prepared a requirement sheet in Excel in a smart view. So in this example, one of my assumptions is the current year is FY21. Right? This is my current year, right? And the next year is FY22, isn't it? And current month is July month, right? It means the actual is available from January to June because July month is still going on. So my actual window and my forecast or plan, whatever you like to do, forecast is available from July to December for the current year. For next year, uh, my my window is the forecast window is January to December. I like to initialize the blocks for the given intersection. I want to make this code dynamic, therefore I use department, which is actually an entity, and version user input. So basically it's called user prompts, right? I want this value to be entered by the user and with some default value. So I've given a default value over here. This is to be executed for certain products. So I limit it fixed for certain products. So products are basically they are computer service. I can use any product and yeah, that's it. So step one, I'm going to create variable. Create user prompts. And to create user prompts for user prompt for entity and version. Let's create. So there is a you can create user prompts from rules, variables, action, create variable designer, and I'm going to create a global variable to be used across. I already created, in the past. I'm going to delete them and recreate. Delete and recreate. So to make your code dynamic, it is a good idea to create variables. Create your business rule with variables or prompts. So my first variable name, I start with var department, right? Just copy paste this variable value so that you remember it. Okay, and you can give a default value. This is of dimension member type, and I can give a default value to this. This is of department, right? Department, which is entity. Default value I give what is given my requirement sheet is a payroll. I give a default value, and you can define a user prompts, right? So I say enter department name. Department name. This is my user prompt. Save it. So my first variable is ready. In a similar fashion, I create another variable called BR version. Okay. What is the value of this? This is also dimension member type. What type of dimension member? Is a version type. And give a default version. In this example, I've taken a default version and acquisition. You can use any version, whatever you like to use it, plus prompt. So again, I input enter enter your version, enter version, right. Save it. So now I got two variable, version or prompt variable, or rather I call it version and department, right. I'm also going to use some substitution variable in this example. So I'm going to create new substitution variable. Probably already created, we can use them as well. So I'm going to create one for current year with a value called FY21 and next year with a value called FY22, right? So variable you can create under tools, variables. There is an option called creating substitution variable, right? Probably it's already exists. If it does, I don't need to create it. Click on plus symbol and you have a list of substitution variable. Current year, next year. I have a variable for current year Next year variable with value called FY22. I can use this variable, right? Next, then without underscore year, FY22, and current underscore year. Maybe I can use underscore 1 because this is going to set up the uniformity. Value of this variable is 21, and next year variable value is this is value is 22. So I got two variables which I'm going to use during my code writing, during my scripting. Okay, fine. Let's get started. So step one, we created variable. Then I'm going to create a new rule. This rule you can associate with data form or you can run it dynamically. Both way works. Right click, create new rule. Create new rule. Okay. The rule name I call initialize service revenue, and this is for plan 1 vision application. So you can go to designer view or you can go to script view, any way you like to use it. Okay, you can toggle it. So I'm going to use a designer view today. By the way, I personally like a script view, and here I like to limit this entire fixed expression for a certain account. In this example, I'm using only service revenue account. There are 3 service revenue account. You can use it from here, member selection, which is a little time taken, member selection, or you can directly type this value, right? For example, in my case, it's 4100 is a service revenue. One service revenue is 4120, right, which is support revenue. And comma, I can use other two variables like 4150 500 4150 and 5110, right? Period HSP view, it is for base data whole calculation. Year and period we apply filter on next step. Version and scenario could be any scenario. You can give a fixed value, like in this case I'm doing for forecast. Okay, so I apply forecast, and version would be my working version, or use a variable. I'm going to use a variable here, the one we just now created, which is prompt. It's a global type. Select a prompt. uh, what was that? Version prompt, right? And entities is a department, which is also prompt variable. Select it variable from here. um, it's a global type, call department, right? Product, I like to limit this whole calculation for certain product. So basically these are the product from computer accessories. The reason I limit it for certain product, because the code is going to be very huge, and in this example we wanted to calculate for certain products only. These are computer accessories, and I want all the descendant of it. So I use I descendant, not only computer accessories but all the children of computer accessories. The calculation take place, right? Now I want to apply a limitation under this condition. Okay, I want two kind of calculation to be done. For current year, the forecast should be initialized from July to December. For next year, it should be January to December. So I create another member range function under that and apply filter for current year, which is basically a variable, right? So use a variable. What's variable? It's substitution variable. I can type it directly. What's the name of substitution variable? You start with ampersand and name of variable. So for current year, right? Uh, start from current year. Start from July to December, right? So you can use a range function here. The same I did it over here, range, and within that, I'm going to create a member. So drag and drop and create your formula. The formula is very simple. I'm initializing value, right, for current year. Okay, so current year variable value name current year equals to 0. Right? This is how you want to initialize. Had it been uh, this tiny thing, I'm going to change it. So current year would be I remove from here. For July to December, this is for current year, the value should be 0. Okay, and for next year, I drag and drop another condition. For next year, right, which start from January to December, yeah, so I apply range January to December, and in this, the value would be uh, drag and drop member formula. Next year, I would like to initialize with 0. I can use a variable ampersand name of your variable. Sorry, ampersand name of your variable is the next year. Ampersand name of variable value equals to 0. So in nutshell, I initialize uh, for current year and next year. If you wish, you can switch to script view and look at how the script look like. Okay. So I just double check if the saved is done correctly. Is optional. Well, personally, I like to look at a script view. This is script. The script render on the fly. Okay. For July to December, current year value is 0. For next year, value should be initialized with 0 for January to December. Okay. Fine. So use validate this, save and validate, and deploy it. Now you have a choice. 1 second, sorry. You have a choice to run this business rule directly, or you can associate with data form. Anyway works. Deployment is done. I'm going to run it now, and before run and after run, take a snapshot. Right now the block does not exist. You can create a snapshot before creating this rule, and I'm going to after creating this rule. Run this rule. For the sake of testing, there are two prompts: enter department name and version. For the sake of testing, I'm going to use payroll, which is the default one, right? Payroll is a department and acquisition is my version, isn't it? You can change it from here, right? There's an option you can change. You want to like to run it for some other member. It's absolutely doable. Click on OK. Takes few seconds. Once it is done, you can see the numbers are going to be initialized. So you see the rule has run successfully, right? No error. When I toggle to my Excel refresh, there's all zeros. See, it is initialized with 0. So this is one simple tiny example, but extremely useful, and you need extensively in your code, in your project, when you want to initialize or create your block on the fly. This is the code and this is the output. I put the code along with the output. So I've taken a snapshot here. This is before and after. This is my code, right? Before initializing and after initializing. Right. So that's it for today. Should you have a question, please feel free to reach out to bispsolutions.com. Thank you.